Hare Krishna, very dear devotees, welcome back once again to our ongoing series on the glories of our most beloved Sri Vrindavan Dham. Today I'm addressing you from Rishikesh on the banks of the Ganges here in India, where we're holding a 3-week festival to introduce Westerners to Krishna consciousness. That's why we have a blank background behind me. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pastrata Deshatani. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we're continuing with our mini-series on Stimulation for Ecstatic Love, based of course on Srila Prabhupada's chapter 26 of Nectar of Devotion. So in today's lecture we will talk about the glories and the role of parrots, yes, parrots, in the divine pastimes of Radha and Krsna. We're moving on from flowers, and this will be part 15. Now, there are numerous kinds of birds in the pastimes of the Lord, which you could say decorate the land of Braj and serve the divine couple with their colorful feathers and their chirping and singing. Of course, it's understood the birds in Vrindavan are not ordinary birds. Nothing in Vrindavan is ordinary. I've said many times it's all extraordinary. In the Radharaman temple in Vrindavan, there's a book called Padamanjari by Sri Gunamanjari Das. He was a devotee initiated into the line of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. His actual name was Sri Goswami Kaluji. So in Pada Manjari, he wrote a beautiful poem called Uttapan Ke Pad, wherein there's very beautiful and detailed description of Vrindavan's parrots. Many birds in Vrindavan, but today we'll discuss parrots. Therein we learn that these parrots of Vrindavan, their main service is to relay messages of love between Radha and Krishna, who of course are constantly, feeling separation from each other. This is especially true during the rainy season, when I was reading Jatila and Kutila force Sri Radha to stay inside the palace at Yavat and not go out and meet Krishna. Now during those times, Purnamasi arranges for Krishna to send messages to Sri Radha with his personal parrot, whose name is Vichakshana. Vichakshana. In Sanskrit, Vichakshana means the one who has sharp vision. The one who has sharp vision. Now, Vichakshana is a very interesting character, for he can change into 3 different colors at will. When he sits on Krishna's forefinger or his shoulder, his feathers turn a golden color. And when he flies to the Vrindavan forest with a message from Krishna, he appears as a green parrot. And when he arrives with the message for Sri Radha, he sits on her forefinger or shoulder, and his feathers turn red. Now there's a nice explanation why he assumes these different colors. First of all, when he's near to Krishna, he assumes a golden color to remind Krishna of Sri Radha's golden complexion. When he flies to Sri Radha with the message, he changes his feathers into a bright green so that no one in Braj can identify him. Because after all, he's delivering a confidential, a secret message, so he needs to blend in with all the other parrots in Vrindavan. And when he finally reaches Sri Radha, he changes color for the 3rd time and appears red. For the acharyas say that red is the signature color of love. I just love that. Red is the signature color of love. Now in this regard, there's a very beautiful verse in Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada's Padyavali. It's verse 242, referring to red. as the color of love. Lalita Saki is speaking to Krishna. She, Radha, is completely drenched in the brilliant red color of love, exactly like a gunja seed, which is completely red on the outside except for the mouth. O expert word juggler, Krishna, her love is not like your love, which remains only on the mouth, exactly like the red color of the parrot's beak. So that's pretty deep. In other words, Lalita is comparing love to the color red and saying that Radha's love for Krishna is full, like the prominent red color of a gunja seed, whereas Krishna's love for Radha is minimal, like the touch of red on a parrot's beak. Hare Krishna. Now, Acharyas, they give an even more detailed description of this special parrot, Vichakshana, of Krishna. It's really interesting. They say he has a dark red beak, a small crown on his head, which is placed on his crest. He has golden tilak, actually the same shape of tilak that Krishna has. And, I found this particularly beautiful, he holds a red rose between his feet when he flies through the air of Braj. You can just imagine in your mind's eye, he's flying with the message, beautiful green color, and in his feet he's holding a red rose. Wow. He flies with the speed of a blinking eye, and he ignites the fire of love in the hearts of the Braja Gopis. And he once very famously said, it's very nice, he said, of the many services rendered to the Prince of Braj, delivering messages is the most exciting. He's a parrot delivering a message. He thinks, because of his ras with Radha and Krishna, that he has the best service, delivering messages to the divine couple. Now there are many other important parrot messengers in Vrindavan. For example, the famous parrot couple, Shuka and Sari. Sukha and Sari, you often hear that Sukha is the pet parrot of Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani. There's also Daksha, who's the head parrot of Vrindadevi. In Sanskrit, Daksha means one who's very expert at various skills. Now Radharani has two other favorite parrots. One is named Shuksha Madi, and the other is Shubha. She has a few parrots. So Shuksha Madi and Shubha. And I was reading that Krishna's parrot, Vichakshana, he's in love with Shuksha Madi and Shubha. Love reigns supreme in Vrindavan. Vichakshana actually has, I was reading also, the Kama mantra, the hymn of love, written all over his feathers and that little fur on his chest. The Kama mantra is written there, the hymn of love. And Vichakshana, Shukshamadi, Shubha, Daksha, and the many other parrots of Radharani's gopis, they also have parrots. They all live in a golden cage, which is described moves forever in the direction of the flowing wind. All these parrots, they live in a golden cage. And what is the nature of that cage? It moves forever in the direction of the flowing wind. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Now, this amazing information even goes deeper. I was reading that it's described that Kamadev has a parrot. And that parrot's name is Prem Sukha, meaning, of course, the parrot of love. Now here's what's really interesting. Kamadev's parrot, Prem Sukha, is the guru of all the parrots in Vrindavan. This is just Purnamasi's arrangement. Prem Sukha is the guru of all the parrots in Vrindavan. Vichakshana, Shubha, Shukshamadi, Daksha, it's described they're all disciples of Prem Sukha. And what does he teach them as the guru? All these parrots. He teaches them the different ways to fly in the Vrindavan sky. He teaches them how to understand the words of love in a message from their master. How to repeat the same message, word for word, in front of the person for whom the message is destined. And how to convey that message in a secluded place at the right time. It's also said that all the secrets of love are learned by heart by all these parrots. Extraordinary personalities. All the secrets of love, and this is Vrindavan, are learnt by heart by these parrots. Furthermore, they all have golden chains and pendants around their necks, which are marked with signs of love. They all wear golden ankle bells, which make very pleasing sounds to the ears. They can speak many different languages, the parrots. And here's something extraordinary. They can copy the voices of the Braja Gopis. They can copy the voices of all the Braja Gopis. They can also mimic the sound of Krishna's flute. These parrots are very good at making jokes, as well as sympathizing with their masters when they are distressed or feeling separation. When Krishna or Radha are feeling separation, these parrots, they sympathize with their masters. They can all sing songs to wake up their masters and mistresses in the morning or the afternoon, and what's more, then remind them of their schedules. All these parrots, they all meet with their extended, their extended parrot family every day, flying in the sky together, making loud noises in the air, which cause everyone in Vrindavan to become excited. In Vrindavan we see often these big flocks of green parrots flying through the sky. So in the spiritual world they fly together, making loud noises in the air, which, because it's transcendental sound vibration, actually they're just glorifying Radha and Krishna. Everyone becomes excited. Now, after Srimati Radharani, Lalita Saki, Vishaka Saki, Nandi Mukhi, and other senior gopis discuss and decide on the details of an upcoming rasa dance. Such details are told to Vrindadevi, who then relays these details to her parrot Daksha, who then gives this information to, 16,108 other parrots, who spread this detailed information to each and every gopi of Braj. Why? So they can follow the ikshara. Ikshara. Ikshara in Sanskrit means the theme for that day or that night's rasa dance. Now, what information is that? That information includes the color of clothes that the participants of this upcoming rasa dance should wear, what fragrance they should bet on, wear, where the dance will take place, which beat will be played on the drums, and which dance form will be used during that particular upcoming rasa dance. An educated guess is there's different ways they dance the rasa dance. So that's all sped by the parrots. Now, another interesting thing to note is that it's often said that in the spiritual world, Shukadeva Goswami is Shuka, who I mentioned earlier, one of Sri Radha's favorite parrots. Actually, there's no Shastric reference for this. I consulted many devotional scholars, many Shastras, but actually there's no Shastric reference for this. And none of our acharyas have stated this, that Shukadeva Goswami is Sukha in the spiritual world. It's not there in the Shastra. However, Shukadeva Goswami has aptly been compared to a parrot by his sweet recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this analogy is appropriate because as we've heard many times from Prabhupada, when a parrot tastes a fruit on a tree, that fruit becomes even sweeter. How so? Because of the saliva generated from the mouth of the parrot. It's just one of nature's ways. So therefore, the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, which are madhur and madhur and madhura bhaji, they're very, very sweet, but when narrated by someone like Shukadeva Goswami, they become even sweeter. And this is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Many devotees know this verse. It's Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, verse number 3. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desire tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Shukadeva Goswami ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So in this regard, I would like to conclude with 2 quotes today. First, part of a poem by Vyasadas, a poet I discovered in the Vrindavan Research Institute. He was born in the 15th century. He was a poet from Vrindavan in the disciplic succession of the Haridas Sampradaya of Braj. He wrote something very beautiful. He wrote, "The parrots of Vrindavan spread the message of love of Krishna to all the young girls of Braj, who are separated from Krishna and enclosed in their prison-like homes. At the end of the Pura Yuga, a parrot appeared, who spread the message of love in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam to the conditioned souls in this world, who are separated from Krishna and enclosed in the prison house of the material world, to free them by meditating on Krishna's pastimes. I offer my respectful obeisances again and again to the king of all parrots, Sri Shukadeva Goswami, who was the son of Veda Vyas." Hare Krishna, we thank that devotee. And finally, this is a quote I found from the Bhagavata Champu of Abhinava Kalidas. It's 123. Even if devoid of any meaning, the sounds made by dvijas, meaning brahmanas or birds, are enchanting to hear. What then to say of that particular dvija, Shuka, the parrot, Shukadeva Goswami, and what to speak of his voice, which is filled with Mukunda's pastimes? It is indeed most glorious. Hare Krishna. All glories to the parrots of Vraj. All glories to Shukadeva Goswami. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, revealer of the Dham. So I'm going to cut it a little bit short today because this is actually our first day of our Rishikesh Kirtan Fest. We've gone out and distributed a lot of invitations here in Rishikesh. We've put a lot of posters up. The buzz of the town is, our festival, which actually takes place in the morning. They can come to our morning program, where we mostly chant Hare Krishna. The people can come to our noon program, the Westerners, where we have workshops. And of course, the evening for like 5 or 6 hours, we have some of ISKCON's best kirtaneers, where it's going to be chanting, chanting, and chanting. Sharing our good fortune with all these wonderful people who come to India, who come to Rishikesh specifically to learn about yoga. And as we know, on the ladder of yoga, the topmost yoga is Bhakti Yoga. So you have to get busy with that, so please excuse me, it's a little short today, but in the midst of all this beehive of transcendental activity for the next 3 weeks, I'll do my best to do a talk like this every Friday. Thank you. Please give us your blessings, Prabhu, that we can be successful in this service to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Shishi Gaur Nitai ki, Shishi Krishna Balaram ki, Shishi Radha Shama Sundar ki, Vrindavaneshwari Shrimati Radharani ki, the parrots of Vrindavan ki, Shri Shri Gauranitai ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya in Rishikesh ki, back home, back to Godhead ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Jai Jai Sri Sri Radhe.